Welcome everyone to Mets Baseball Rant for August 6, 2021. The Mets have fallen to the Philadelphia Phillies, and with that loss today, the Mets are in second place. Today is not a recap. We are not recapping today's game because the honest truth is I'm done. I will not cover any more Met games as long as Luis Rojas is the manager of the New York Mets. And for anyone who says, well, it's not his fault, the players are just not hitting, the pitching is just not there. No. I'm going to give you just a handful of examples of today's game, why he is a shitty manager. And yes, shitty with an S. Number one, Edwin Diaz has been gone for 2 days because of the birth of his child. Congratulations, Edwin Diaz, on that birth of his child. That being said, Edwin Diaz has a proven track record. You do not use him in a non-save situation. You do not put him in a non-save situation. If you are losing and you need to keep this game close, do not go to Edwin Diaz. Edwin Diaz just doesn't have it. Now, there's been a handful of times he pitched fine, but for the majority of the time, he does not. On top of that, he's been gone for 2 days. So you think he's going to have adrenaline to go pitch that ninth inning? No. Because it wasn't even a ninth inning. He came in the eighth inning to keep the game 2-1. And I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, you're away. If you're home, I can understand it. I always told this. I understand using your closer at the top of inning if you're the home team. That makes sense because there's no safe situation ever. But in this case, that's not the case. You're away. You're still going to have a safe situation if you end up taking the lead. So the fact that you put in Edwin Diaz in the eighth inning to try to keep this game close is the dumbest thing I could ever think. They have not spoken to him because the game literally just finished a couple minutes ago as of this recording. But it is just dumb. Then, and I keep saying this, the lineup just stinks. Look at the averages. You don't need to look at numbers. You don't need the analytics. Look at the averages, which are numbers. But look at the averages. You got to put people who are batting in that lineup. But he doesn't do that. He doesn't reward players for hitting. Drury has been hitting consistently. And does that reward him? Does he reward Drury for doing his job? Nope, he's a bench player. Conforto should not be in the starting lineup. And if he is, he should not be batting 7th. He should be, or 6th. He should be batting 8th. Maybe even 9th. Because that's where you put players who are struggling to hit the ball. That way, they get more pitches to see so that the pitcher could lead off an inning. That is a theoretically proven philosophy in baseball. Why you put a hitter batting 8th is because you want that hitter to see more hits or they're struggling. But Jesus Christ, man, Conforto. I know he had a hit today, but still, Drury needs to be in this lineup. Then finally, he decides to use Drury in a pinch hit role for Nido. And I never understood this. Why you pinch hit Nido for McCann or McCann for Nido and the vice versa? Makes no sense at all. You normally don't pinch hit unless you are, in theory, trying to get a big bomb. He pinch hit McCann with Drury the other day. Like, what are you doing? What is going in his head to make these decisions that make no sense to the average person? Because no one can make sense of that. No one's going to tell you they have any clue. And then with Baez strikes out a lot. And this was an issue that we knew about. But when you give him no protection behind him, then pitchers know they can just throw at whatever they want to him and let him get himself out. Because, he's not going to play it smart. He's not going to try to take a pitch. He's going to swing. But they know that even if they walk him, they got no one really to care about behind him. He shouldn't be batting cleanup. He shouldn't be batting fifth. Baez honestly should be batting third and put Alonso behind him. And then put Smith or J.D. Davis behind Alonso. Not this lineup. This lineup will never win games. So I'm done. I am going to tweet this out to Colin, Uncle Steve. Please fire Luis Rojas because he is not the guy who's going to take the Mets to the promised land. Instead, he has put the Mets exactly where he wanted to put them, down the grave. Because the Mets, like I said, every excuse in the world, all the injuries and everything. This team has won games in the past, and they could do it. But this lineup just ain't gonna cut it. The bullpen managing doesn't make sense. So what's the point? What's the point? Get rid of this guy because he don't know what he's doing.